Ricky Aguayo has some tough footsteps to follow in at Florida State, but the run of field goal success he has had early in his sophomore season has helped him carve out his own legacy. The latest chapter of that legacy was written during FSU's 24-20 loss to number 13 Miami Saturday. His season started poorly, with Aguayo missing his first two field goals, one each against Alabama and NC State. Since then, he has been on a tear. With two made field goals against Aguayo has now made 10 consecutive field goals dating back to the NC State game on September 23. He's being very consistent, Jimbo Fisher said of Aguayo. He has good steps, good timing, keeping his head down. His foot is hitting at the right distance from the ball. Aguayo arrived at FSU, and took over the starting job immediately after his brother, Roberto Aguayo, left FSU as the most consistent place kicker in college football history. It took some getting used to, but Ricky Aguayo is finally coming into his own as a specialist. I just decided to grow up, he said. Stop letting immature mistakes come in when I go out on the field. Just stay true to the process. His recent consistency has been well timed, with the Seminoles struggling to turn promising drives into touchdowns early in their 2017 campaign. Without his current streak, there's a chance FSU's 1-3 record could instead be 0-4. FSU injuries piling up. The Seminoles lost an important piece on each side of the ball against the Hurricanes, with safety Trey Marshall and wide receiver Keith Gavin each leaving the game with injuries. After a defensive series in the first quarter, Marshall headed to the locker room for an evaluation of an unknown injury. He returned to the sideline shortly after, but he missed the rest of the game. In Marshall's absence, junior A.J. Westbrook, who made 8 starts at safety in 2016, filled in. Gavin suffered a foot injury at the end of a kick return in the third quarter. He was unable to put any weight on his right foot, as he left the field with heavy assistance from the training staff. After being carted to the locker room, Gavin also did not return to action. Gavin's injury is the latest in a string of hits to FSU's shallow wide receivers core. Auden Tate continues to play through a separated shoulder, which limits his mobility, while George Campbell played against Miami despite aggravating his core muscle injury suffered last season in practice this week. Tyler growing into role as punter. Logan Tyler has struggled at times early in his career as FSU's punter, but he has shown growth during the past few weeks. Saturday's loss was a new high for his collegiate career. Tyler finished the Miami game with 7 punts averaging 44.9 yards. This included a pair of punts stand inside the 20 and 3 punts, which were 50-plus yards. Tyler's punts made a key impact during the first half. While the Seminoles struggled to piece together drives in the first half, Tyler's booming punts ensured that Miami's struggling offense would be pinned deep in its own territory. Tyler's punts played a key role in not being able to cross midfield once during the entire first half against FSU. Becker breaks in. Sophomore cornerback Carlos Becker III, Akasemi Osceola Alum, broke into FSU's defensive rotation against the Hurricanes after missing the first 3 games of the season due to a high ankle sprain. Becker, who contributed on defense and special teams last year as FSU's secondary depth dwindled, finished Saturday's game with 2 solo tackles. Offensive line. Health's offensive line, much maligned for its play against Wake Forest, entered the Miami game with its entire starting 5 intact after 3 different players suffered injuries against the Demon Deacons. Derek Kelly leg, Landon Dickerson ankle and Cole Minshew undisclosed each missed portions of last weekend's game at Wake. Dickerson and Minshew returned to the game, but it was unclear whether they'd play against the Hurricanes. Still, Kelly, Dickerson, and Minshew each got the starts at their respective spots on the line, returning the unit to full health against